You don't wanna box me, I'm feeling cocky. Hair stocky, leave him floppy. Face Nazi, talking all Aki. Think he big poppy, then I'll chop him down like karate. I see none of you here can stop me. It's obvious, you too sloppy, cheap copy. I'm Rocky, leave his eyes all glossy. But in the end zone is where you can spot when I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Faking the give. Now Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Wow, just one snap in, partner, and the complexion of this game has already changed because for the defensive side, they just handed their offense a short field and a big early advantage. And even though it's only the first snap of the game, we're going to look back on this one and see if it has lasting effects as this game moves on.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes it's just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Jackson to Watkins there for a Baltimore first. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But it looked like a Raven was able to get in there, and they will indeed keep the possession. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. And that is no good. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Wow, that qualifies as a bad miss because anything inside of 40 should be automatic. That's a big mistake right there.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they've got to be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. The first time you throw the football winds up being picked, but fortunately for them, it does not lead to points.
Well, that tells you about team football, doesn't it? Everybody gets together. What's that term they use? Complementary football? Okay, he threw the pick. The defense got together and said, hey, let's shut them down. Let's not turn it into points. They did exactly that. Now he gets a fresh start, a clean slate.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. Watson now going to run the option right. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Big Calais Campbell fighting through to make the play in the backfield.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on first and second down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And again, it's Chubb. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they're going to get this up to midfield. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. From the gun, it's a give to Chubb. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Here's Watson. Oh, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
How about that? Man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From midfield now, here's Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. We've seen both of these offenses still sort of in that figuring things out phase, but I suspect some action on the scoreboard soon as they start out here 1st and 10. They'll start the drive here with an end around. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
And Chubb will try the middle here. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
They'll try the air now with Watson. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. They'll go left side on the ground with Chubb. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
And the next-gen stats, they tell the story as he was approaching 19 miles an hour on that one. That's to the right side and complete to Njoku. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. And chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
He stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground. This time it's Cho. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on third down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Watson off play action. Sliding out of the pocket. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
York able to send this one through, and the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead.
So, Charles, they are on the board after that kick. So 3 drives, 3 points. Obviously not the start that you were hoping for, but they're able to erase that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah, I guess what you're saying is a point of drive is not what offenses are striving for by any stretch. They're happy they've got 3 now. They hope that that unlocks their offense for bigger points down the road.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. The Ravens at 500, 3-3 through the season's first 6 weeks. They were losers their last time out, trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences and carry that into the contest.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He's got a man, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving the guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Jackson. It's Dobbins on the out route, bringing it in. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. Jackson to Bateman there, first down Ravens.
And that's a nice nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you wanted to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape for a first and goal.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Ravens will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Second and 6, just inside the 30. In motion comes the tight end left. From the 29, Watson. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Following that sack, Watson and the Browns backed up for a 3rd and long.
They'll look to throw here. And this one is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
This game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Denzel Ward.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. And now, oh boy, this is a bit of a surprise, to be kind. They accepted the holding penalty, so wipe out the interception, and their defense will stay on the field. Okay.
For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, it's Watson. They set up the screen to Chubb. And he's got some space here. 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 35.
Well, he's definitely difficult to account for out of the backfield, and he makes something happen there with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, and this is nothing more than a simple screen pass, but he does a really nice job of showing patience and letting his blockers get out in front of him, and he turns it into really nice yardage.
From the red zone now, Watson. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Hunt is in. Touchdown, Cleveland. So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a third-quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are. But what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. Here's Jackson to throw.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And some room to maneuver.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Play action. Now Jackson. On the move to his left. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
That is definitely what we call our defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
Dobbins running out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It was Jadeveon Clowney who got upfield for the stop.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Tucker's kick is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. He stepped right up like a pro.
The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And they'll send the slot in motion left. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 42 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch it. Back now in Baltimore. Knotted up here at 10. That's our score as we begin quarter number 4. On 2nd and 12, Watson. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Off of play action, it's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. This will be taken at the 10. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Big impact play, a tackle for loss.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. One heck of a 3rd down conversion, 33 yards. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Steps away. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again is Jackson. His throw incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Able to locate Andrews here on the out route. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 23. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. They go play action with Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is picked up by the Browns. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. The 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. So many times tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25.
No, we changed it.
Throwing is Jackson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear of risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him to completion.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Browns drive about to get started. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Brandon Stephens. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
7 yards there on the 1st down screen play.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Pretty good job there defensively of stringing that one out.
Yeah, you've got a quarterback who's waiting and waiting for something to develop, and it just never materialized, and down he went behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Jackson.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Myles Garrett in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and this Browns defense stands tall. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the fourth. Good gain there on first down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Only a 1-yard gain, but good enough to just about finish this one off.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on third down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped.
Charles, we were treated to an excellent game today, capped off by that second half comeback. This was a joy to watch.
Entertaining for us, not so much to the team who led at halftime and now is leaving here, knowing that they let a win slip through their fingers. Tough one for them to carry home.
So for the Browns, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through